Hey, what's up, metal and heavy music fans? It's Flight of Icarus again with MetalTrenches.com, and today we're talking about UK death metal legends CARCASS and their new EP Despicable via Nuclear Blast Records. And hey, if you'd like to be kept up to date with the best and brightest metal bands and albums from the underground and above, then stick with me by hitting that subscribe button down below. Despicable starts off with the thrashy lead single The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue, and what a great track, lots of fun. Definitely enjoyed reacting to this one when it first came out. It has so many great little different movements, starting off with the epic sounding harmonized guitar melodies you heard in that intro, but I'm particularly fond of the riff a little after the 2-minute mark with the chuggy rhythm guitar and palm muted picking. Just a very classic CARCASS riff that would have been right at home on Heartwork. There's also this killer pre-chorus with the big descending chord progression leading into some pretty impressive sweeps too. This leading into the more sludgy section that feels more like a Mastodon song paired with a Southern Fried Pantera-esque solo. And I'm also fond of the little fake out at the end, after the wild ride that they put us through and you think it's finally coming to a close, and then... Yeah, overall, really great song. I do feel like it kind of blows their load right at the beginning, because this is definitely the best track on the EP. I'll also say that it feels a little bit over long at 6.5 minutes. The intro alone is over a minute long, and it actually kind of feels like it has almost 3 intros. Sometimes it gets a little bit repetitive, and so it just would have been an even tighter song at maybe closer to like 4 minutes long. Track 2, The Long and Winding Beer Road, is my other favorite on the EP. This one is on the slower side of tracks like No Love Lost. What it lacks in speed though, it definitely makes up for with some seriously infectious head-bobbing chugs, and more importantly, chorus melodies that somehow manage to be equal parts ethereal and ominous. This track also feels a little bit more concise with its less than 5-minute runtime, featuring a lot less repetition and never overstaying its welcome. Now the other 2 tracks are also pretty solid, albeit not ones that stood out as much as in the first half. First we get Under the Scalpel Blade, which is another more methodical, almost doomy chugger with more Southern Fried sounding guitar leads. Again, it's enjoyable, but it does feel kind of like a lesser retread of previous material. It has its moments. Of these 2, though, I'm much more partial to the closing track, Slaughtered in Soho, great title. This one opens with yet another excellent harmonized guitar part that CARCASS continues to prove themselves to be such masters of. Definitely something fun to groove along with, even if there's not a whole lot else of note on this one. So yeah, overall I'd say that Despicable is a pretty solid EP, but when you've only got 4 songs and 2 of them are the only ones that kind of really grab your attention, it's gonna have a pretty big impact on the overall rating. I feel like it would have been worth CARCASS holding on to these for the full length, which I'm told we're getting later next year. Excited for that. Or I mean, at least give us another song or 2 to really make it feel more worthwhile. More CARCASS! I need more! In any case, I give it an 8 for enjoyability. Like I said, the first 2 songs are more like 9s, but the latter half is honestly kind of more of a 7. I give it a 9 for musicianship. The performances are really strong, and the songwriting overall is pretty solid, albeit inconsistent at times. And I give it a 7 for innovation. Not a whole lot of new surprises here to sink your teeth into, but if you love CARCASS like I do just the way that they are, that shouldn't be a big deal. Round that out to a flat 8, and it's a B- for CARCASS and Despicable via Nuclear Blast Records. Y'all, thanks as always for watching, and let me know down in the description what is your favorite Carcass album and what did you think of this EP. And then be sure to check out, I actually have a tier list of melodic death metal bands. Carcass is on there, so check it out and see where I rank them among these other amazing bands in this genre that I love so much. And hey, just stick around in general because I got plenty more videos coming right after this one. I've got more full album reviews, more tier lists, interviews with bands on the podcast, you name it, we've got it, so plenty of reasons to stick around and subscribe if you have not already. Also in the description you can find links to our social media, the email newsletter, and our Patreon and Subscribe Star if you want to take that extra jump to becoming a full-on supporter. Just $1 a month gets you early access to content and helps me keep this train a-rolling. Also, there's metaltrenches.com. You can find even more reviews and content to enjoy there. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.